everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. With a spot in the Super Bowl on the line, everything is on the line in today's conference championship matchup. It's the Dolphins going up against the Steelers. The towels are out, but it's set to be a cold one at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And that's where we'll say hello to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, despite the elements, these fans here in western Pennsylvania, they wouldn't dream of missing this one as you can look inside snowy Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first carry for Kenyon Drake. Uses the stiff arm. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Just 2 yards to go here on 2nd down for the offense. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. A carry for the big fullback. This is Derek Coleman. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man, and he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though, but I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. On the toss play, this is Drake. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Time to feature the offensive starters. And our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. A very solid gain of 27.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Running, it's Drake. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys of my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
His tight end, Jordan Cameron, the intended target. And it's 4th down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And Frank's kick is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Wheaton with a catch right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Brought in by Wheaton. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
Cameron Wake may have begun his career in Canada, but in the NFL, he's been one of the top pass rushers since he's entered the league.
On third down, Roethlisberger going for the deep ball. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
No, check. Now let's go.
Now Mettenberger. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
No, check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
On second down, it's Drake. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be third down now with still a long way to go to get to the first down marker. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Good. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Here's Mettenberger. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. stay on the ground with Drake. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And it's caught by Parker. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They'll run with Drake. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. They come out here in the eye. On first and goal, Drake. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now Drake. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kenyon Drake taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down following the run. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Roethlisberger will throw. A screen to Bell. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Second down now after the pass completion. On second down, Roethlisberger out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Two receivers left, one to the right. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a third down. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Ronnie Hillman in there. He gets the carry. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Aguayo able to knock it through. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? To be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you. Maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around, but the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now Mettenberger. And caught by Cameron right side. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen.
And into the end zone. Touchdown. Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So we come upon halftime in the AFC title game as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's Roethlisberger. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. The Steelers send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is taken around the 12. Not a big deal on that one. Just your everyday 67-yard punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Right back to Drake. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On the give, this is Drake. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
It's complete to Parker, left side. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Back now in Pittsburgh. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Mettenberger. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake. And it's 3rd down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and run some clock now with Bell. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 11 on the gain there. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh 1st down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Going up top, and they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And they'll get him down right about the 20. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
In the red zone this time. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. Man open left side is Brown. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And his kick is good. After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Here we go now.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Mettenberger. And he comes back with one complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Surveying the field. Flush to his right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And On 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Here's Mettenberger. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. Kenny Stills, 32 yards. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. But he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the Steelers set to take the field. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
They'll go again with Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the
rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. Man, he got in there so... Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. This will be caught by Brown. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's going to look deep down the field. Time for a break. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now here come the Dolphins. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they wanted to put together.
Anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Back to throw. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
And 15 yards there on the catch and run. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And able to break one tackle, but then quick. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. A quick give to Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm weary about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now a handoff for Drake. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Shift together here from the D-line. They come out here in the eye. They go with a fullback, Coleman. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. The short yardage man, it's Coleman. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in an evenly contested AFC title game, that very likely was the kick that'll send them to the Super Bowl.
And that's why you and I are up in the booth. Can't even imagine the pressure he was under right there. I mean, that's a career definer. And he stepped up and calmly put it through the uprights.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. 1, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
See if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.